All right, it is time for this week's The Almost Internet Famous Weekly TechSpective Happy Hour. Last week I did the coffee porter from Real Ale Brewing Company as my featured beverage. So we're sticking with the Real Ale Brewing Company theme. But this week we're doing Devil's Backbone Belgian Style Tripel. Is that how you pronounce that? I mean, looks like it should be triple, but it's spelled E-L instead of L-E. So let's open that one up. See what we got. There we go. Cheers. Happy Friday. Okay. It's good. It is, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's more rye than I'm used to. I think. It doesn't actually have a ton of flavor in either direction. Anyway, I don't dislike it. I've certainly had worse. It's good. So let's talk tech. Early in the week, we posted a review that Carolyn Spranger, who's one of our writers, did of the Amped Wireless touchscreen AC1750 Wi-Fi router. And she had lots of great things to say about it. Gave it an 8.5 out of 10 overall in terms of an overall score. And one of the unique things about it is this touchscreen. So I've used a number of different Wi-Fi routers, and you connect it to the internet, but then somehow you've got to either connect via USB or connect a laptop directly to it so that you can access the admin page and get the thing set up. So the cool thing about this particular router is there's a touchscreen display on the router itself, so you can work with it and get it configured and get it set up on your network and assign the IP address and all those kind of things. Change the SSID, those kind of things that you would normally have to do through a web console of some sort. So that's kind of cool. Now, I'm waiting for the update because subsequent to posting the review, Carolyn reached out to me and said, "Hey, have you posted that review yet?" And I said, "Well, yes, I posted it this morning." And she said, "Well, we actually started having some problems, and they went away when I put my other router back on, so they might be related to the AC1750. So she was going to do some more testing, and there might be an update or revision to that review if she finds out that it's causing some problems. But after playing with it for a month or two or whatever, her initial review was very, very good for the product. Next thing was I wanted to talk about security as a tool to enhance or facilitate business and productivity, not just get in the way of it. I mean, security always gets a bad rap. It's always the thing that slows you down. It's always, you have to enter a password. You have to, log into this. You've got to, when you're just talking about even network traffic, if you've got some sort of a intrusion detection system, your firewall, all those kinds of things are performing some sort of a monitoring and analysis of the traffic before allowing it to pass through, generally speaking. And even if that happens as fast as possible, it can't happen in zero time. So it by definition pretty much has to slow down your performance to some extent. But more and more companies are using software as a service. They're using cloud-based applications. They're using cloud-based storage. And in those cases, that traffic can or should be treated differently, perhaps. You can, if it's your own application, it's your own data, it's your own servers in the cloud, you can trust that inherently to some extent, more so than you would trust just random traffic from the public internet. So it helps then to have, instead of just having a firewall that's going to monitor everything that comes through, or just having intrusion prevention that's going to monitor everything that comes through, to have that perimeter security, have that firewall, or have that intrusion prevention system with some added intelligence as an application delivery system, application performance network that understands, these are my apps, this is my data, let's prioritize this. Let's make sure that this has optimal performance over Joe in accounting surfing Amazon. So that so there was an article we put up about that. It referenced one of our sponsors, Barracuda, has some next generation firewalls that contain that that functionality. So that was sort of the original inspiration for the article. The next, you see the Santa hat. In case you hadn't looked out the window and noticed that the holidays are in full swing. Angry Birds released a little trailer this week. The movie. So Angry Birds is making a movie, in case you didn't know that. It's not supposed to come out until, I think, May of next year. But they released a little holiday trailer, which is just of the baby Angry Birds, the hatchlings, singing. And it was cute. My wife and kids liked it, laughed at it. I laughed at it. So I posted that. I thought it looked pretty cool. And, I'm in general, I'm not super excited about video game movies, or even most animated movies, really. But I am kind of looking forward to this Angry Birds from what I've seen in the trailers, and just based on the cast, the voices in this thing. They've got Peter Dinklage, they've got Bill Hader, they've got Jason Sudeikis, they've got Keegan-Michael Key, and he doesn't know me from Adam, but I've always had kind of felt like a special connection with Keegan-Michael Key because we're both from Southfield, Michigan, and I saw him perform at Second City in Detroit before he went on to make it big and become a household name. So as soon as I started seeing him pop up on television, I was like, "Hey, I know that guy." And I just think it's cool when you have a hometown hero who's famous. So and he's very funny. If you don't know who Keegan-Michael Key is, he's the one who played he was with President Obama at the press dinner and did the angry Obama. I'm not sure what you would call that. Sort of playing his alter ego, and that was very funny. But so that's the Angry Birds thing. Check out the trailer. Go to TechSpective and watch the trailer. Let me know what you think of that. Next, lightning cables. In my house, I have an iPhone. My wife, son, daughter, other son, all have iPhones. We've got a couple iPad minis. So there's, iOS devices that need the USB to lightning cable to charge all over my house. And we go through those cables like, faster than we go through a gallon of milk sometimes. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's the original Apple cable, which is kind of expensive anyway. It's like, $19 for a 3-foot cable from Apple. We've bought third-party ones. We bought nylon ones. We bought, the like woven nylon braid instead of the vinyl. And they all fail in some way. I mean, generally speaking, any of the ones that are vinyl end up cracking at the base of the lightning connector, where the lightning connector itself meets the cable. Here. Got one here. Okay, so basically right in here, the plastic cracks, the wires are exposed, and eventually the wires break or fray or whatever, and then it just, it shorts out and it just doesn't work anymore. So we've tried a number of alternatives. Let's see, is this one? For instance, this alternative. Now, this is one of the braided nylon ones, but it actually does have some issues here. It's bent or separated in some way here. And the other problem we have with a lot of the third-party ones is this connector is actually a little bit, the actual, this part here is a little too big for a lot of cases. So, I don't use a case, so it works fine with my iPhone, but my wife and my daughter have cases on their phones, and this thing is a little too fat sometimes for the case, depending on how the case sits. So we've gone through our fair share, and so far I think the Amazon Basics are my favorite lightning cable, because they still break too, but they're a third of the price of the Apple cable. So it's good quality at a lower price. Now, when I posted the article, so I wrote the article, said, hey, lightning cables are like a hidden surcharge for owning an iPhone, because you have to constantly replace them, and it's $10 a pop. So we're probably spending $100 a year on lightning cables. And I did get a fair amount of backlash. I got the requisite number of comments calling me some sort of Apple hater or whatever, because I dared to say that something was flawed. And there were people who I'm sure legitimately say that they're still using their same lightning cable that they've had for 3 years, and I don't doubt that that's possible. I also don't feel like we're abusive with them. So I accept that our experience might not be the norm, but I don't accept that however we're using them, which includes, again, 5 different people in this house on 5 different people with 7 different devices. I don't think it's a safe assumption to say that we're all just using them wrong and we're all just doing something wrong. I had a lot of people talk about, well, make sure you don't pull it out by the cable. Make sure you grab the actual connector to pull it out when you're removing it from a device, which is good advice. You should do that, and it's true of anything. It's true of pulling a plug out of the wall. I mean, you shouldn't pull on the cable or the cord. You should pull on the actual adapter on the end. So that's fair advice, but I'm not sure that I don't agree that alone would solve my problem. Possibly the best advice, I think, in the comments had to do with that Apple will replace it under warranty. So, basically I could have just I could just keep going to the Apple store and take them their cable and say, hey, your cable broke again. And they would probably give me another one without arguing with me about it. The problem is the only Apple store around here is at the mall, and that's a pain in the ass. It's a lot easier to go on Amazon and order a replacement cable that just shows magically up at my door 2 days later, than to make time to go to the mall and go into the Apple store and wait to be seen so that I can trade for a free cable. So it's admittedly a very much a first world problem. Certainly not worthy of spending too much time whining about. But that's what I chose to write about this week. Finally, the article that Rob Enderle wrote this week was a follow-up to one he wrote a couple weeks ago about the Blackberry Prive. And when he wrote the first one, he had a lot of nice things to say about it. Basically said he was pleasantly surprised. It was a solid phone, but that was after like a week of use. And so he, at the time, had promised that he would follow up and let us know whether he still loved the phone after using it, for a month. So that was what this review was. And from the sound of it, apparently he still loves the phone. It seems like there's, he has discovered a couple other things that he might want to change or thinks should be different. But in general, it seems like he is still a big fan of the phone. He's a big fan and proponent of the physical keyboard anyway. I haven't used one, so I'll start there. I have not used one, so I can't give you a first-hand assessment or opinion of the device itself. I can say that in general, I'm not a fan of BlackBerry. Oddly, I think somewhat oddly, BlackBerry has a very vocal, loyal base. So whenever I do say anything negative about BlackBerry, I generally get backlash from the BlackBerry fan base about why BlackBerry is the greatest thing ever and why BlackBerry is the BlackBerry 10 OS is the best mobile operating system in existence and other such things. And I mean, if that's for the people who like BlackBerry, if you want to go get a BlackBerry Prive or a BlackBerry Z30 or whatever you want to go get, go for it. It's a free country. I just don't really see it. And I'm curious. So this is a actual question I would love to have the answer to. If money was absolutely not a consideration and you could just walk into walk into your carrier, walk into Verizon, walk into AT&T, and you could have any phone you want for free, which would you choose? Because I do feel like sometimes that people make those choices based on money. I mean, it's a real consideration. It's not a factor you can just outright ignore. And I'm curious, if I just told you, okay, I will get you any phone you want. I won't really. This is hypothetical. I will get you any phone you want. Just tell me what you want. Do you want an iPhone? Do you want Android? Do you want Windows Phone, or do you want a BlackBerry? And I'd be curious to know how that pans out. And whether a lot of the people who have Android devices, whether they would still get an Android device if money was not an object. Just something, I don't know. Answer me, on the comments here. Answer me on the comments to the Blackberry Prive article on TechSpective. Let me know what you think. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap up though with my big news for the week, which is I am excited to announce that I'm now the community manager for Tenable Network Security. So I have accepted that job. I was very excited to pursue that role. I'm very excited to have been invited to join Tenable, and I'm looking forward to that. So it doesn't change TechSpective. TechSpective will, I'm still going to be editor-in-chief of TechSpective. I'll still be writing. I'll still be doing these videos. But I'm also going to be, have a full-time day job at the same time, helping Tenable build the community. So, I hope you will join me there. Follow me over there. Go check out Tenable. Check out Nessus. I'm the guy now. So if you have questions, ask me. If you have suggestions for things that we could do better, ask me. Let me know. So that's going to be my new thing. And like I said, I hope you'll engage me over there, and I hope you'll give me your feedback and try Tenable out, try Nessus out, and let's go do great things. So happy holidays. Cheers. Until next week.